Thank you, Vice Mayor. Appreciate it. I have a few slides. I assume someone's going to pull those up real quick. You know, we often hear from people about why isn't the city bringing this store, or why isn't the city bringing that restaurant, or why isn't the city doing this or doing that? I'd just like to take a moment to remind everyone that cities don't do that. We live in a society that's called a free market, and business owners, whether they're regional, national, or local business owners, make decisions based on a myriad of variables. And for instance, what might draw one store is a completely different set of demographics from what might draw another store. And I tell some people sometimes, we're not Russia. We can't snap our fingers and form a store. We do believe in the free market and the free exercise of that market. We do talk about aesthetics and look and traffic patterns and environmental issues and those type of things. But the city is growing. And the biggest requirement of all of them that's all in common is population. So these next set of slides, and I don't know if is there a clicker up here somewhere, or I can just say flip. Go. I didn't mean it literally yet. Go back one. So I'm just going to run through a few slides. This is what we dubbed the South Bridge area, south of the overpass. And these are a few projects that are coming to this area. We'll start with this one. This is just south of the new Exceptional Health. This is going to be a retail office project. Now, again, this is early conceptual drawings, and they are subject to change. But this is in for application and review, and will be moving forward in the coming months. That's just a prototype of what area might look like. Again, subject to change. Some of their elevation shots. And then over here is the Thompson Thrift Project, which is 217,000 square feet. You see a large box and some smaller boxes and some retail pads. That's moving forward. The plans are in for the big box, as well as some of the little things are in negotiations, and we look forward to that moving forward. You'll actually start seeing some construction out there, particularly with the extension of Honeycutt, probably in January. Back in the corner, this is the Rainsman Commons, and you see kind of the square that's 55 and up housing, and then you have some market rate housing, higher dense housing back in that corner. To the top of it is the railroad tracks to give you some sense of positioning. The Duke's Roadhouse, which is the old pawn shop, that's been purchased and will become I don't want to call it a steakhouse, but you will be able to get a steak there, but it will have a nice restaurant. It's being reconfigured. That's some prototypes of what it would look like once it's done. Very nice. So that will also have music and entertainment several nights a week, and will provide some additional nightlife opportunities for our citizens. This is the Wells at Stonegate area, or the Walmart area. You can see there's a lot coming here as well. Bosa Donuts, Banner Physical Therapy, and Code Stone and Rocky Mountain Chocolate. You notice how we fit the physical therapy in between donuts. And so we're good at planning, making sure we address those things. But that brings some additional stores and opportunities and to our community. The Code Stone Physical Therapy Building, Bosa Donuts. Some Chickens opened just recently. If you haven't heard, they 183 stores in 3 countries. The biggest opening day was right here in Maricopa. 3,000 customers on day one. They actually listened to us. We told them you're going to run out of food if you're not prepared. If you notice, they had a couple of freezers, big freezers out in the parking lot to make sure they didn't run out. My granddaughter said, I've never seen a slim chicken. They're always fat, but anyway. But it's a beautiful building, indicative of what our community is trying to be as we mature as a city. Tractor Supply will open they tell us, in December. Now, whether it's the 1st or the 31st, I don't know. But it was scheduled to open. If you haven't seen it, it's tucked back behind, but close to the Walmart. Their elevation drawings. Burger King. The good thing about Burger King is it brings some food eateries out to this side of town for those who live in Tortosa and others. And everything that's happening in Walmart will begin to change travel patterns. So vehicles that used to drive and populate the streets going into John Wayne won't have to do that. And actually, you'll see as this area develops, a decrease in some traffic. And as development occurs even further to the east, and there's projects being talked about as far out as Hartman Road now, that again will change traffic patterns to everyone's benefit. So the Burger King design, Taco Bell is coming out there. If you hear a big gong, you'll know what it is. This is the village of Stonegate. This is a higher dense townhomes, but this is owner occupied. We have a lot of people that say, I want to get out of my 3 to 5 bedroom house. I'm an empty nester or whatever. These will be units that will be owner occupied. And they're attractive as well. Home Depot, you've heard about. They're on their third and I hope final round of comments and should start going up, we think, maybe December, first year more likely. Their typical facade. Now, just to the west on the frontage of Maricopa Casa Grande Highway, Home Depot actually purchased all that land. Now, you need to understand, you can imagine how many Home Depots there are in North America. This is the only time they've ever bought excess land. And they bought it at a premier price because they knew they could sell it to other users. And you can tell by looking at it that there's 5 pads, and we don't know who yet, but we will know soon. They tell me that they have people already interested in all 5 of those pads. So that's additional opportunity for the city and people in this part of town. This is Edison Point. As you know, if you've been out there, the new Petco is now open. Nectar is open. Nando's will be opening, I think, in January, I think they said. If you haven't been there, it's a family-owned, but this is restaurant number 5. I've been to the one in Queen Creek. It's very nice family sit-down restaurant. Petco is open. Nectar, if you haven't been to Nectar, it's open. GNC is either open or about to open. And then on John Wayne, we have 2 coming in. Well, actually just 1. Carl's Jr., they left and they realized the grass wasn't green on the other side, so they're coming back. And unfortunately, Angie's Lobsters has withdrawn their application for now. But we understand they have a new store called Angie's Prime that does lobster and steak. So we're hoping that's the reason, but I don't know for sure. Lobster and steak, little surf and turf thing going on. Carl's Jr. Now, the Sonoran Desert Parkway, we've heard people say that's the road to nowhere. It doesn't look like the road to nowhere to me. And this is actually part of the Regional Transportation Corridor, which all of our citizens, as well as all the citizens of Pinal County, voted on and approved. And ultimately, this parkway will go all the way to I-10. So it'll provide a nice in and out corridor. But just within this stretch that we have built as a city, the Avalea mixed use, which if you look at the part, that's about 800,000 square feet of future retail, which might be exciting for us, along with some traditional housing. This is a new housing project called El Rancho, and if you haven't been out there, they've already cut in the roads and dirt. That's moving forward very quickly. This is Kelly Ranch, kitty corner from the Walmart. This is Stagecoach Springs, which goes to the east of Porter and begins to fill in up into the canal. Iron Point, also just south of the railroad tracks. And then Seven Ranches. We worked for a number of years with the Seven Ranches Water Improvement District. We were able to work with them because they really didn't have enough water supply. But that's now been resolved, and you can see this is blossoming very quickly, this island out in the middle. So U-Haul is coming. Doesn't look like your typical U-Haul because they will have some regional offices, corporate offices in there, not just a bunch of trucks and trailers. That's their footprint. Christ Church of the Valley, you may have seen under construction. Good thing is they're bringing additional soccer fields and outdoor volleyball and basketball courts that they've indicated they're willing to work with the community to enjoy and participate with. There's their Elevation Gunsmoke multifamily, which actually was approved several years ago, has been purchased, and they're eliminating most of their, not all of them, but most of their one bedrooms and doing more 3 bedrooms because demographics have changed. And these are single family for rent product. We also have a small independent storage company coming in. This is a private, I think it's their first, it's not a part of a chain. New car wash coming over behind the Circle K, credit union bank, and that's so. By no means is that everything. I would say that within the next 12 months, you'll probably see about 500,000 square feet of retail popping up. And in the year after that, you could see as much as another 500 to 1 million square feet. And also, I just quickly want to mention on that slides, we are working with 2 industrial projects. Now, when I say industrial, it's smart technology, innovation. It's not smokestacks. At 2 projects that will bring job opportunities to the city that will be significant for us. And that's working in partnership with UA on their property out at the MAC, and it's also working on property that the City Council has moved for us to purchase out on the kind of the triangle area between Peters and All, Maricopa, Casa Grande Highway, White Parker, and Hartman. So those are moving forward nicely, and I thought the council and those in the audience might enjoy just a little update on some of the things coming. That's all I have.
Thank you, City Manager Horst.